Hey y'all, today is, I moved my calendar. Are we on Saturday? No, we're on Monday. Begins with a consonant, ends with a Y. That's what I know. Today is Monday, April 20th. Yeah, 20th. And we're on Floss tube 38. So it's been less than a month, over a week, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's just jump right into it. It has been a stressful yet not stressful last 2 weeks. Kids are still doing the homeschooling thing. I'm trying to be the home teacher. I'm still not smarter than a third grader. We're having to ask teacher Google a lot of questions, and that's just how it is. So let's see. I made a video on April 1st, so almost a month. It's been almost a month, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh, and I'm Amy, just in case you didn't know. Hi! Welcome to all the madness, because that's what happens here. But it looks like I recorded on the 1st, so maybe I didn't show what I worked on after that, because I don't remember. So I'm just going to start with Snow White. I did this for a prompt. Everything's School of Magical Stitches, just in case you're wondering. And basically my life revolves around whatever it tells me to do. So I did get quite a bit more done on this one. Hopefully that's focusing okay. I got a new phone and I'm in the middle of sun setting, so hopefully it's bright enough, but not bright like my crazy light was the last video I did. And yeah, I think I worked on this for the one day, just 313 stitches-ish. But I'm really excited to see a lot of that filling in nicely. I'm still a wee bit nervous about my border, because a lot of people have talked about the fact that the kit didn't really give you a lot of room for border. Oh, and this is what it looks like. Let's try that again. This is Snow White Discovers the Cottage. So a part of me wants to grid the rest of it out just to make sure that I have enough fabric, and the other part of me is like, just leave it alone. Find out when you get there. Just find out when you get there. So we'll see what happens. Another one that I worked on for a lot of prompts was Serenity and Indy by Tilton Crafts. And I did this one for 3 days. 3 days it looks like. Oh, and then yeah, I went back to Snow White. Because I'm trying to do the full coverage Fanatics, where you do the 4,000 stitches for the park, but it's for full coverage only, obviously. Speaking of, I understand that it's only April. And I understand that every month right now feels like it has 394 days in it. But I am super excited for next year, because next year is going to be the year of the crazy BAPS in my stitchy life. I'll explain in a little bit. Okay, so anyways, I got quite a bit done on this one. Oh, and my son is... So this is the start of her dress, and I'm super excited, and thank goodness for Pattern Keeper, because that's the only reason why I can do it. But I think by using Pattern Keeper and me kind of just feathering a little bit, that I won't get the page breaks. Not that I've seen any. I've seen, it kind of looks like I'm getting page breaks on Dragonkin, which is my biggest project for now. And I left a thread hanging. Hopefully I remember that when I get back to it. I probably won't, but that's okay. It's fine. Because everything is still fine. On Dragonkin, it looks like I have page breaks, but I think it's more because of the fold of where the fabric is, not because of my stitching, if that makes sense. And now I can't tell if I'm supposed to look over there for the camera or if I'm supposed to look straight at me, because it looks like I'm off, and I don't know, because it's a new phone and I'm learning all the things. Okay, so I stitched on that one for 3 days. I don't think I made it to the 4,000. I think I got close though, so I do want to get back to that to make it to the 4,000 mark. And then, because my handy dandy happy planner, the next one I did was quotes, which I believe is either in this purple one or the other one. I think it's this one. Quotes one. Yes, I had to do 500 stitches and I got 555 stitches, including all the back stitching. So now my border is completely, not my border has been done. My banner is completely finished. All the back stitching. I'm a little concerned that maybe you can't see that too well, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm doing my own conversion, all color and cotton threads, and I don't think it's turning out too bad. I don't think it's turning out too bad. I keep telling myself that it's going to be okay. Everything's fine. After that, we went to Miss Cherry Blossom. So I will drag her out. Miss Cherry Blossom and I were fighting for a little bit because I'm still upset that I have to frog all this stuff, but it's okay. So as you can see, I got more of her dress in. Let me see if I can. Started work. I think I pulled her out twice. I think the first time around I got all this pink in here for the dress, and then the second time around I started filling in the little checker part of her dress. Double check if I've nope, apparently not. I have not stitched on this in the last 2 weeks except for that one time. So 510 stitches. Like I said, got a lot of that in. And again, this part right here is still bugging me because I'm off by a whole stitch, but it's fine. It's fine. I think what I'm going to do, honestly, after I'm done stitching this whole section that's supposed to be next to this, I'm just going to take whatever was there and double it. So that way I don't have to tear all that out. That's my way of fudging it, I think. But then again, I get nervous about messing with things, and things are made in the pattern a certain way for a certain reason, and I have a hard time deviating from that. I'm just barely learning how to do color conversions, and I'm still questioning myself every 2 seconds about whether or not that's okay. All right, and then I went back to, okay, because we only had the two, let me silence, whoa, that's the camera because I don't remember where that's at. Sorry for the shakiness. Let me just silence my phone because I forgot. Hey, go away. There we go. Just got an Instagram message. Okay. Christy, I'll get back to you in just a minute. So we only had 2 prompts for that week, and we had to do 500 stitches on both. Something about the beast being 21, and we had to do 5 pictures, and then we had to stitch on whatever the second one and the first one was in that order. Something like that. So I finished those 2 on Monday and Tuesday, so I had the rest of the week to do whatever I wanted. And so, oh, you know what I just realized? I was playing the Frogs and Stitches with Semi Sane, and I forgot. So I haven't been stitching or rolling dice. Maybe I can jump back into that. Okay, so anyways, I went back to Snow White to try to get the 4,000 for the full coverage fanatics, and also for hotels in the magical stitches, because I think at that point I had gotten all of our little, you get different I don't know what they're called, parts of the park, I guess, that you have to stitch for, and you have to stitch X amount for X amount out of X amount in order to say that you've gotten your badge. And for most of mine, the last couple of times, it's been like 750 or 1,000, and I've stitched like 3,000 and 1,725 or something like that. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start using it for hotels and build those up. Looks like I stitched on Snow White for the next 2 days, and then there was Sing a Sampler. And this thing made me want to rip my hair out. I had to re-dye my hair because the gray started popping, because this thing, I mean, I'm happy about it now, and I'm glad that it's over. But in the moment, oh, and another thing I don't know is how long I have to record. So this just randomly cuts out on me. It was not on purpose. I just don't know what I'm doing. And I've never recorded with this new phone, so we'll see what happens. But here we go. Here's Sing a Sampler. I took a note out of Jan Hicks's notebook, doing it in rainbow order. And man, that looks really good with the sun coming in, even though my alt light is creating a shadow. But I'll bring it in a little bit closer. So I got Do Re completely done. And again, I'm converting everything to color and cotton colors. And then let me just squeeze over there just a little bit. And I put down Taylor 20, and that took forever to chart just the itty bitty little letters. And then I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to chart her, which is Maria. It's Maria, right? Not Marie. Maria. Is it Maria? Marie. I'm close. I can't remember. But I charted that one myself, and I don't know how I did it. Here's literally what I did. I started with the face, and I stitched that in. I stitched the foot and the other foot, and then I just went with it. I kind of tried to follow the pattern, but the arms are a little different. And because it's a little girl who looks like she's running. Here, let me see if I can. And the little girl has long hair, and Marie is obviously not blonde or brunette. But here's what the original photo looked like. So I took out these two little motifs, and then I started with her face, and I did not do the ponytail and the rest of the hair. I stitched that foot, and then I just kind of started filling in from there. And that's how I went about it. I mean, I could try, if somebody really wants to know what I did, I can try to chart it, I guess. Now that it's stitched, I guess it would be easier to mark it up. Because as you can see, I was trying, maybe you can't see, I was trying to chart and I was driving myself crazy, and I had all sorts of graphs, and to all of the designers, I give you guys so much credit, because that was, I'm proud of myself for doing it, but that's not my jam. So I only have the bottom row, and I'll have another finish. And I'm not recharting anything down there, I don't think, just color converting. So that's super exciting, and that took me 3 days, because charting that chickadee on the end took forever. Oh, okay. And it's hot because I live in Arizona, and it was 90 degrees outside, and I had to take the kid to work, and I had to drop off a gauge box, so anyways, it's getting hot. Oh, and then I worked on the secret project that I can't show you, sorry. I hate saying that because I never thought I would have a secret project, but my kid's nosy, and all of my kids watch my channel to see what I'm talking about. And my kids' friends watch my channel to see what I've talked about, so I can't. I did work on Technology Meltdown. I got 1,139 stitches in with this guy. Again, Pattern Keeper saved my duckus, because I really need to serge these, the ends here. If I fold this up, am I gonna? No, it's fine. Let's just do this. We had a stitch on a project that had a book, and everything behind the dragon is a bookshelf. So I just started, is that another thread? What am I doing? I don't know what's happening. Oh wait, I think that was from the first round. Yeah, that was before that was when I was trying to park. So, got quite a big bit of this pink book done, and I just worked my way down until it no longer fit in the Q-snap, and I just realized there's a big hoop mark. It's fine, it'll iron out. It's fine because everything's fine. Okay. Then I started working on Dragonkin. So what I've been trying to do as of late, because I just started this, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago, is I'm trying to cram all of my homework into one day for Magical Stitches and getting it done and over with, and then using the rest of the week. I don't know if I should be staring there or there, and I think we just discussed that, but if I'm looking in both places and one of them is right, then I'm 50% okay. But and again, this will go back into the whole, next year is going to be the year of the BAPS. I'm trying to really get a lot of stitches in on my HAIDs, on my bigger projects, because a lot of bigger projects are coming. Yeah. Okay. So I worked on Dragonkin, and I worked on that one for, it looks like 3 to 4 days, and I got quite a bit of stitches in with this. Matter of fact, I was able to get a park completed, so it was over 4,000 stitches. And I tried to fold my fabric different because, like I said, those page breaks. Okay, so let me just give you a, don't kiss your projects, y'all. Before Pattern Keeper, after Pattern Keeper. This is what happens. And I have to play Peeping Tom. There's gonna come a day where I'm not gonna be able to hold this in the screen, and I think I only have about 1.5 pages left this way, because this right here is about 1.25 pages-ish. So I'm almost close to the end, and I'm super excited. Yes, so that's what Pattern Keeper does, in case you're wondering. Especially if you're a cross-country stitcher like me. And my fabric smells like coffee because my son dribbled a little bit of coffee on it way back when. I didn't know he had dribbled coffee on it, but it's okay, it's fine. Because everything's fine. If I keep saying it, it's gonna be fine, right? I did not fold this correctly, but it's okay. And this is in my Evertote bag that I was so lucky enough to win from Miss Caroline. It was Off the Grid Needle Arts, just in case I forget to mention that, because I don't want to forget to mention that, because she's awesome. Okay, so my head fits right in there. And so there is that. Okay, get in there. So right now my main goal is to get all of my Hades to at least 10% on Pattern Keeper. And I think all of them are maybe, if I'm lucky, at like 4. Except for maybe I Remember. I Remember might be close because I got the entire border of 310 done. Oh, speaking of, that reminds me of Caroline, because Caroline was talking about how she's the 310 queen, and her friend. Okay, I can't remember if this was in a recent video or if I started over and she was talking about it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, she's got a huge thing of 310 that she split with a friend of hers because they were doing the Savon and the other landmark tapestries? I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, she's doing Savon, and so she's got a bunch of 310 because her and a friend were doing like 10 out of the 12 or something like that, so they needed a bunch of 310. And as she was talking about it, I started cracking up because, I don't know, for every one project that doesn't have 310 in it, 5 do, and it's a lot. So I have my cone of 310 over there, plus I have, I don't know, 10 like Hanks from Heaven and Earth Designs when I ordered the material packs for Dragonkin and Mother of Dragon. So we're twinsies when it comes to having a lot of 310. I don't know how not to have 310, I think, is my problem. Oh, I did work on Miss Cherry Blossom again. That was on last Sunday. That was yesterday. Was that yesterday? It was yesterday because I needed to finish that in order to turn in my homework before midnight yesterday because I forgot to stitch on her earlier in the week, which is why I want to start getting all of my homework done at the beginning of the week. So, and of course this week I haven't written anything down, hence the reason why I didn't know what day it was. I know that every day begins with a consonant and ends with a Y. I just can't fill in the middle letters to let you know what actual day it is because all of my days have kind of just together. I typically know that it's a weekday because my husband is sitting at his office desk. If he's not at his office desk, it's a weekend. I just don't know which day in the weekend it is. It's literally where we're at right now. But it's fine. What did I stitch on yesterday? Oh! We had to stitch on gingerbread. And I had gingerbread. And I got 2 finishes. So this is one of the ornaments because if you remember, was it last year that I said I was going to do an ornament a week because it's not a curse word, but it's a curse word. I'm knucking futs. Which totally didn't happen. I got them started. I think I got 31 of them started. No, I didn't. I had 31 Christmas projects started because I did them in July. But not all of them were ornaments. But anyways, gingerbread, we were made for each other. So I got that one done. and to Santa, North Pole. I got that one done because we literally had to stitch on gingerbread or something you would put on a gingerbread house. So I can put this up top now. Let's try not to forget that. I'll just leave that there. That's fine. What else did I stitch? Oh, the Geisha Angel. Did I stitch on? I did. I restarted this one, but this was for extra credit. I think this was not homework. You guys remember? I got this from a D-stash. Whoa, glare. I don't know if you can see, but that glare right there is Stitch Roadie in the background. And well, come tell me about your day then, don't you? Go climb back up, did you? Usually she goes down and slides off. Okay. I would apologize for that, but I'm not, because that's what I have to put up on a regular basis. Anyways, I got this from Michelle from her Bendy D-stash, which she's doing a lot of right now. So if you're looking for something, check it out, because a lot of things, as soon as they go up, they're gone. And I should know because I missed out on 2 things that I really wanted. Anyways, grabbed this. It was a whole kit. And I started stitching it on Color and Cotton Sea Breeze. I think, wow, that sun makes me look really pale, but it's all right. And I screwed up. I messed up in her dress. I started over here on the dress. I was in the middle of the dress, and I started on the umbrella, and everything was wrong. And I couldn't figure out where it was on any 3 parts, so I gave up, and I'm starting over. But I had asked everybody what fabric I should start it on, and the consensus was Nova, which was February's fabric of the month from Be Stitch Me Fabrics, because I'm addicted to her right now, and this is my start. Please focus. She looks kind of weird right now, and she looks a little funky, but she'll look better when I get yeah, that stuff, the back stitching. Wow, words are hard. Okay, this white here, I don't know where I'm pointing. The white right here is a little I don't know if you can see it. No, not today. That's fine. I'm using the blending filament. I was going to try to switch everything out for a toile, but a toile does not have enough range of colors yet that I gave up. And I'm just going to grin and bear it with the filament. I'm going to smile and pretend I like it, and as I do every stitch, I'm going to remind myself that everything's fine. Because it's fine. Because I have to do more of that filament with the Snow White, and I'm like 98% sure that all of the Thomas Kincaid has some sort of filament in it somewhere. Listen, hear you. Be nice. Okay, so I did get a restart on that. Oh, and let me just tell you, okay, put it down. Put it down. Don't blind the people. I started stitching on that, and the hubby came in, and he was like, I thought you weren't doing any new starts. Like, I'm not. It's a restart. He goes, but it's a new start. No, it's a restart. You don't have to like the rules. They just are. It's not a new start. But I thought he was going to rip my head off because I was supposed to be doing no new starts, which I'm still hanging on to. I have yet to start anything new. I've had, I think, 2 or 3 new restarts, not new starts. Restarts because of fabric or something went wrong or whatever. I think it was 3. Haunted Mansion, the Geisha Angel, and Miss Cherry Blossom. I think those are just the 3. So, but he about ripped into me and was like, you're not supposed to be doing any new starts. I'm not. I did not do it. Okay, worked on, I think this was also an extra credit. What else did I do for homework? If you hear my children screaming, they're playing Fortnite. Everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I had another project for homework, but now I can't remember what it was to save my life, and because I'm discombobulated on what day it is, I forgot to write down what I did yesterday. But I did get, no, nothing new on that section. I got my flowers. Ooh, I missed a spot. I apparently didn't need to finish these little stitches right here. But I got the flower. Whoa, Linda 2.0. That's what we're going to call her from now I got the leaf, the flower, and then this section of the flower done because we had to work on something that had 3s in it for homework. And this has 2 sets of 3 for flowers, so this works. So this one's slowly coming together, and this one's Bake Everything with Love. It was from Hobby Lobby. Ooh. My brain is melting as the sun is going down. There was something else that I stitched on for homework. I just know it. What were the prompts this week? Oh, Haunted Mansion. I knew there was something. This was another one that I restarted. My bag broke. No! The plastic has officially detached from the... Okay, it's fine. Fine. I restarted this one also because I started it originally on Lakeside Linen. 32 count, I think. I also tried to stitch it in a car. It was my first time doing anything on linen. Don't do that. We had to stitch in purple, 100 stitches. So I got the top part of my roof done. This is going a lot smoother because I can count on Ada. I'm fine with it. I like my Ada. Rolodex Stitches is an Ada gangsta, except for the fact that she's stitching on other fabrics now, which is still fine. She's still an Ada gangster, and I still love her. I think that's it. That's the secret project. I haven't touched that item. Have I worked on Mythical since we've seen each other last? I may have. Don't remember what the prompt was for, but Magical Stitches told me to do it, and I listened. So I think the last time you saw, I had just the wizard's like clothes and the floor, possibly. And now I have, is that room done? Yeah, it's done except for the back stitching. I just went through and finished it. So I've been kind of on a mission of finishing and getting in as many stitches as possible. So for homework, if it says, oh, do 100 stitches, like on a project like this, do 300 stitches or whatever, and it's in one room, I'm just aiming to finish the room. Because like I said, I have to start mentally preparing myself for next year because a lot is happening. I need to put that back up with my, that stuff, the seasonal Christmas stuff. Let me see if my old phone will cooperate. And no. Okay, so as we know, I shared with you, let me see if I twist it this way, if I can get it bigger. I shared with you that a wonderful person by the name of Anna racked me the bookshelf. And that is what it looks like. It is max colors. I believe it's 259 colors. And she's a beast. It's Once Upon a Time Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart. I have tried to convince myself that I don't need any of her bookshelves. And then she popped out with this one, and I was like, mine. I need that in my life. It is 999 stitches by 714 wide. I did get my fabric from Stony Creek. It is 25 count Easy Grid Lugana, and it was like 60 bucks. I bought an entire yard. Yes, ma'am. And sirs, because, and then I have, let me see if I can find where they are, because some have pictures and some don't. Okay, so these are Hades that I bought last year, and my husband is a huge Game of Thrones fan, so I purchased this one, and it's a mini, so don't get overly excited. It's a mini. It's called the Dyer one, so that one's gonna get stitched because these are plans for next year, because I might as well start planning now, just to mentally prepare myself, maybe. This one is called the One True, and this is also a mini. And I just think that's totally badass. Now these ones are 256 by 325. So I bought a half yard and I can fit 2 of them on the half yard. Which the half yard was like 30 bucks, $34, and that was with shipping. Stony Creek. If you're looking for 25 count, easy grid, Stony Creek is my new go-to place. And then, because Michelle Sayeda is freaking amazing, where did the other one go? I don't know. I'll have to find it. Okay, so here's what I need. I need the artists who work with Michelle Sayeda, who's the one who charts for Hade, to stop making the ones that I need. I'm perfectly okay with all the other ones that are gorgeous, but I wouldn't stitch them because they don't fit the decor of my house. Because I don't think there's a single bad artist out there in the Hade world. But then I saw this on the Insta, and I really got to stay away from Instagram. I just got to stay away from it. Dragon Race Into the Night Max Colors. And holy bleep balls, I need this one. Is that not fantastic? I say I need this one, but I already bought it. I already bought it. I'm not even going to try to cover that up. I already bought it. And then, where did the other one go? Because the hubby was super nice and was like, yeah, sure, okay, go ahead. Let me check. Oh, and now that I have this available, I can do a tutorial on how I use the row counter, because I've had a couple of people ask me how I use that. This is what it would be if we were hanging out, let me just tell you. Nope, I clicked the wrong button. Because I have to show you. I just have to show you. Because these are all in the works for next year. These are all part of the plan. This one was a limited edition, so if you want it, you have to get it like ASAP, because I think it disappears by the end of this month. It's called Magic Study. Oh my gosh, look at them colors. And this one is not a max colors, it's only 90 colors. I had to. First off, the palette for that one and the dragon rate, they're like identical. So the girl reading with all the things going around her is going to go with my Amy Stewart bookshelf. And the dragon race one will go in my living room with all the dragon oriental stuff that I have out there. I have to plan where things are going to go because that stops me from overbuying, even though I just bought 2 new Hades. I also bought a yard of fabric, another yard of fabric, and both of the Magic Study and the Dragon Race, both of those will fit on the full yard. So I have half a yard and a full yard coming to me, plus another full yard in there for the bookshelf. That was my haul. I think that, oh no, that was not it. I knew I was forgetting something. I have a glorious piece of fabric coming to me as soon as, I just totally blinked on her name. Starts with a B. It's B Stitch Me. What is her name? Totally just blinked. I am so sorry. Can't think. Anyways, it's B Stitch Me. At B Stitch Me on Instagram, bstitchme.com. If you're interested in any of your fabrics, she's freaking amazing. Customer service, top notch. I was asking about the fabric that I needed, and it was like midnight, and I'm like, do not respond right away. It's perfectly fine. I understand that, like, I'm up at an odd hour. She literally responded within like 5 minutes. It's like, I really need this fabric. And I don't want to show you the chart, but I I do want to show you the picture because Clouds Factory had a sale, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I freaking got it. Epic Storybook Princesses, which is going to go somewhere here in my craft room, because what you can't see is right along this wall and along that wall I have Thomas Kincaid paintings, but they're the reprints. They're not the actual painting themselves. So that one's a beast too. I'm insane. This one is 647 by 397 stitches. So next year is going to be the year of the crazy BAPS. And yeah, so I have 3 really large heids, 2 mini heids. That's 3, 4, 5, 2 mini heids plus the Clouds Factory, so 6. I've lost my damn mind. But it's gonna happen because that's my reward for no new starts this year. I'm just gonna start a whole bunch of big ass projects next year, and then for the next 20 years I'm not gonna be allowed to have any new starts. Not until I finish one of my heids or something. I'm gonna have to make a deal with myself. So mentally what I've been trying to do is knock out everything that's not full coverage. That's kind of my game plan for the rest of the year, while still stitching on my heids. Because, oh, speaking of, okay, so it seems like the video may have just cut out on me. I just got a little message saying that it cut and it's re-recording. So it looks like it stops at about 36 minutes. So if I can remember to stop at 35 and then come back, everything should be okay. I forgot one more that I'm working on because I'm working on her right now as we speak, and that one is Mother of Dragon. Again, before, after Pattern Keeper. So I am working on this one. I'm going to give this one 3 days because I have 4 things that I have to do for homework. The first 2 are done, the gingerbread and the stitch in purple. So I'm going to do this one for 3 days, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be on Technology Dragon. I had to think of, because one of the prompts was pick a project that defines you. Technology Dragon is literally the reason why I bought it, because it's me with technology. I am that little mini dragon who's losing his shit, wanting to bust fire at the laptop because it's not cooperating. I couldn't have found a better pattern to define me. Just saying. I could have chosen the Miss Cherry Blossom. I'm half Japanese. I didn't go with that. I went with the Technology Meltdown Dragon, who's losing its mind because technology is not working. I didn't think about that until after I started writing everything down. It's fine. It's perfect. Anyways, so I think that's about it for the stitchy part. I think. Showed you all my whips. I had quite a few whips, I think. I think I did pretty decent. All my haul. Oh my gosh. The PDF patterns are obviously here. I got my, yep, 1 yard, which I think I showed you guys last time, from Stony Creek. 60 bucks, you can't beat it. Pre-gridded, 25 count Lugana. I think it was like $8 for shipping, so it came out to be like less than 70 bucks for a yard of fabric. So I was very happy. And I think 25 count is like my new sweet spot, because thankfully to most of you who helped me out way back when, if you remember when I started Technology Meltdown, I got 25 count Lugana and said, do I do 1/1 or do I do 2/1 tent? And everyone was like, do 1/1. And I love it. So it's like my new sweet spot. So Dragonkin and Mother of Dragon will be on the 18 count Adas, which I'm still perfectly cool with, but they're going to be the only ones on the 18 count. Everything from this point forward is going to be 25 count, 1/1. I love it. Which is kind of weird because Storybook, no. The Once Upon a Fairy Tale bookshelf, I think is actually going to be the same size as Dragonkin, even though it's like 300 stitches extra going like both ways. So they're going to be about the same size, which is totally cool. Okay, let's see. Life stuff. My teenager's still working. She's working like 2 days a week, which is totally cool. They shut down the lobby, which I think we talked about last time, but they've also cut their hours back as well. So they're not staying open as late and they're not opening as early. The husband goes to Costco on the weekends. We got toilet paper, thank you Jesus, because we were down to one roll. We have 3 females in this house. 2 of them have, time of the month, and that was getting a little nerve-wracking. So my husband went there Saturday morning, buku early. He walked by a pallet, and the guy was like, need toilet paper? My husband was like, yes, please. And he just put one in the cart, and my husband walked off and got anything else that we needed. So I'm still on the look for Clorox wipes, though. Still can't seem to grab my hands on those, but that's fine. Still have like a container or 2 left, so I'm not panicked just yet. I'm sure now that it's sunlight, you can kind of see the rearrangement of the room. So we took 2 of these shelves and put them side by side to create a desk, which is obviously a catch-all right now because I'm still organizing and cleaning and figuring out where the blank I'm putting everything. And so I'll have this little area right here, and then over on the other side, if I can point, is empty as well. It's the walkway to my door to get out of my room. But this I thought would be a great place if my kids want to do puzzles or if we want to color, because if that gets ruined, I don't care. It's just a door that we used to have on top of 2 filing cabinets. This thing has been through a lot. So if they mess it up, it's not that big of a deal. And my husband just got a whole bunch of new tools for woodwork. He can always sand it down and paint over it. It's fine. I don't care if they mess that up. So that's pretty much what we're doing there. My resin cart is here. I'm getting a couple more things in that I'm super excited about. Pigment. I want to learn how to make bookmarks. So I got bookmark molds. I'm getting all the things in to do it all. Now I just got to buckle down on the courage and just get started. Because I did a couple of earrings for Scarlett. They worked out great. Thank goodness. She's been switching them out for whichever colors she likes. She loves them, which is awesome. So I'm going to have to buy more posts because I might sell them. I wish I had more confidence. Like, yes, I'm selling all the things, but I don't. And that's okay. I'll get there someday. Right now I'm still working on the whole Color Street thing. So, and thank you for the few who have put in some orders with me. And I got 2 more Gitch boxes. So thank you so much. That was super exciting. So if you have any questions or want to know, come talk. Let's chit chat. But today I am wearing polka.com. And it's literally P-O-L. The husband will put it here somewhere. Polka.com. These are clear, and you can put them over your favorite solids. I like to wear my clear ones by themselves because I'm weird like that. I don't know why. It's just a thing. But I think they're super cute. I think next time, if I get them again, which I probably will, I think I want to get a nice red. Whoa. Haha, it worked. Good job, Linda 2.0. I think I want to get a red, so it kind of looks like a ladybug. So, hi, S'more. Are you going to scratch this part of my chair now? Hi, love. She never knows what's... my poor cat. I'm sure you guys have seen all the memes of the cats going, why the F are you still in my house? I need you to leave, human. That's pretty much exactly how she feels about everyone in the house right now, except for me, because I don't ever leave. So she's used to me always being home. Everyone else being home, though, is driving her nuts. Because everyone's loud, and we scream, and we play Fortnite, and, well, not I. Let's not include me in the we. I am stitching. Because my stitchy bug has been crazy lately. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep. I literally just want to keep going because I know all the stuff that's coming, I think is my biggest problem. And it's not a problem. It's a good problem to have. But I know it's coming. So I want to feel better about having all those things come in because I'm getting a lot of stuff going out, if that makes sense. I watched Alma, who is Alma's Little Wonders here on YouTube. She's so freaking cute, and she's a freaking math genius because I can't figure out how she does it. But she had mentioned that she uses Pattern Keeper, and from Pattern Keeper she can figure out how many stitches she has to do a week in order to be able to finish it in X amount of years or whatever timeline she's given herself. And I'm like, oh, I can do that kind of math. That's kind of basic. So I looked at how many days were left in the year, and I think it was like 259. And then I said, okay, I have this many stitches. I divided them and said, okay, then multiplied the division But I don't remember how I did it. It made sense when I was doing it. Anyways, I have to do like 10,500 stitches per week on Dragonkin to finish her by the end of 2020. That's not happening. I have to do, let me just look, because we're just chatting at this point, really. It's already broken off and done its thing. For I Remember, I would have to do 2,058 stitches to finish it in 2020. Serenity and Indy would be 4,704 stitches per week. Technology Meltdown would be 4,305. Mother of Dragons, 8,813. No. So I wrote them all down to see where my starting point was, and I wrote down the date. It was April 17th when I did the mathematical equations. So I think at the end of the year, I want to see how far I got. Like, how much did it change? Because I've done so many stitches on them, which means I no longer want to sleep, which is weird because my sleep pattern's off anyway. I've always been a night owl, which is great and sucks at the same time. So I've always been a night owl, but lately, like throughout the day, because anxiety and because constant noise and things are constantly going on and nothing's ever quiet, like even when my kids are supposed to go to bed, typically one of my children will walk in here because they have to use the bathroom, or because they need to put bedtime lotion on, or because their leg hurts and they need Tylenol, or because they need to know if I have water, or whatever excuse they can come up with to come in here in the middle of the night when they're supposed to be asleep. So my brain takes like 3 or 4 hours of silence to like fully go, okay, we can relax now. And it's not just silence. It's listening to music or watching Floss Tube, which we'll talk about that in a minute, or audiobooks, because where the hell have I been? I'm one of those really stubborn people that I love the feel of a book. I am a book reader. I love books. I collect books. I don't have a specific genre anymore. When I was probably about 18, I was very into romance novels and like Dean Koontz sci-fi novels. Now, just give me a book and I'll read it. Like, that's where I'm at in life. I will pretty much read anything you give me. Doesn't mean I'll always like it, but 9.5 times out of 10, I will finish it just because that's who I am. But I've been reading a lot of these books for Magical Stitches. We're reading the Disney Villains series, which I just finished the Ursula and the Beast books. And I always read at night because it calms my brain and it doesn't allow me to think about anything else that's going on in the world or in my life. I have to focus on the book. So I read a lot at night. When I'm laying down, I read on my phone. So I also don't get to read for very long because I read like 5 pages and my brain goes, that's enough, let's go to sleep. For the most part. Last night was not one of those nights. Last night I finished 50% of Ursula because I went to bed early. Apparently that was a mistake. I went to bed at like 10:30 and my body was like, yeah, 2 o'clock sounds great for a wake up time. So I woke up at 2 o'clock and I was up until 5. I finished the book. And I started reading another book because of Annie from Joy-Filled Stitchers. Joy-Filled Stitching? Joy-Filled Stitch. Did I write it down? Tell me I wrote it down. Yes, Annie from Joy-Filled Stitcher, because she started reading the series. And now I want to read the series because it goes along with the Disney theme, even though it's not part of Magical Stitches. I just think the concept is really cool. So now I'm reading that one and I'm hoping to finish it before the 1st, because then I have to get back into Kingdom Keepers. There was a whole reason why I was talking about all of that. Oh, audiobooks. Oh, Jesus. I swear I'm okay. So when the whole thing with the let's lock everything down started, I was like, crap, I really wish I would have gone into my library and gotten a library card, because everyone's talking about how you can get books online that you run from your library. So as soon as they said, hey, we're locking down, it's like, crap, I can't access it. I tried doing Libby because apparently you don't need a library card through Libby, but you do. They just help you find a library. Again, at that point in time, my library was not offering library cards online. It just kept saying, please come to the library to get a card. Well, the other night I asked the hubby, could you please try to look this up for me because it's driving me nuts. I don't want to have to keep buying these villain books. I just want to borrow them because I just want to borrow them. The husband goes onto the exact same website that I went to look for this stupid card, and he logs in, gets me a library card, sets me all up, and he's like, oh look, here's this thing for audiobooks and here's this thing for books. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Because I literally spent 3 days trying to do that exact same thing, and no. This is the reason why I'm the little dragon that wants to blow up on the laptop. Just throwing that out there. Anywho, so he gets that all set up, and I'm like, all right, let's see what's so cool about these audiobook things. I'll give it a go. Let's go. It's fine. So I ended up getting A Wrinkle in Time. I got Chris Cross, I think is the name of the book, from James Patterson. And I got The Clash of Titans, which is the second book in the Game of Thrones series that I got in, like, I don't know, 400 pages and was like, I can't do this anymore. And I remember when I talked about doing the Game of Thrones series, Michelle Bendy popped off and was like, if you're going to do it through audio. That's the best way to go about it. And I was like, no, I can handle reading the books. It's fine. They're like freaking like 3,000 pages per book, which typically is not, I enjoy that. It's perfectly fine. But my husband wants to watch the series, and my thing is I don't want to watch the series until I've read all the books. Well, that first book took me, I don't know, like 4 or 5, 6 months to get through it because I read an hour a day or whatever. Well, I got through A Wrinkle in Time the first day I got it. So borrowed it, downloaded it, listened to it, sent it back. And then I started on the Crisscross. Is it Crisscross? Yeah, because Allie Cross is the one that Jonah has. Crisscross. Listened to that in like a day and a half, returned it, and now I'm listening to Game of Thrones, which is freaking like 39 hours long. It's literally like 39 hours long. So, the hubby went through and he bought, yes, these. The Samsung earbud pod thingies. I don't want to tip it because they'll fall out. Freaking amazing. I put one in my ear. I listen to the kids when they're asking questions. I push the little button on the ear so it pauses. I answer the question. I hit the button. I'm back to listening to my book. I'm stitching. It's freaking amazing. And I still get the books at nighttime that I can read, like the A Whole New World, I think is the first one that I'm reading, which is basically how the story would have been had Aladdin not gotten the lamp. I think it's very cool. It's called the Twisted Tales series or something, and I think there's like 9 of them to the series. I plan on reading all of them because I'm already intrigued. Anyways, floss tubes. So when I tell you that I've been binged watched, I mean like I click one, as soon as that's done, I back up, go to the next one, back up, go to the next one. I have literally not been able to sleep. I've literally not been able to like just rest. So this is how y'all are helping me without even knowing it. Stitch and Button Vicky, I got through her videos, and now every time she puts one out, I'm on cue with the newest one. I turn around and watch Stitch Roadies, who is Anna, who is also on my TV screen right now because she just put up a video today, so I'm caught up. Two Martini Stitcher Erin, I'm caught up on all of her videos now, and Joy-Filled Stitcher Annie, caught up on hers. So basically what I'm doing is going to, and I started back on Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts, because I could have sworn I watched her videos from the beginning, but when I went back to go look, there were like the first 7 I didn't watch, and then I watched like 8, but then I didn't watch like 9 through 13 or whatever, so I'm just going back to the beginning, and I'm just re-watching it all over again, because that's what I'm doing, because my stitching bug ate way too many, I don't know what they eat. I don't know what the stitchy bugs eat, but mine is ginormous right now and it's growing. All I want to do is stitch. When we're downstairs with dinner time and we're watching a show or whatever, because obviously our shows are ending. They would have been ending anyway typically because this is the time of the year that a lot of season finales are happening. But there's no sports for my husband to fill in the spots, so now we're literally just binge watching all of the shows that we would have watched which is fine. There's Netflix. We have YouTube TV. We have Netflix. We've got Hulu. We've got 1,001 things. Oh, and Disney Plus, because who can forget it's Disney Plus. We have 1,001 things that we could binge watch at any given moment. I am not worried about not being entertained. That's the least of my worries. I am, however, very super excited to have started this audiobook issue, because legitimately I have gone, so I'm on Goodreads. I'm not exactly sure how that works, like how you can share or make friends or whatever, how you do all that. But I'm on Goodreads, and my quota for the year was just 12 books. I'm like, you know what? Magical Stitches is going to force me to read at least 12. 13, because I forgot we're doing 2 in this month. But I'm going to at least read 12 for sure. I think I'm up to 8 books right now already. And we're in April. And 2 of them were audiobooks. And I don't know why I fought so hard to not do it. Because to me, it's not reading. You're listening, but it's not really reading. You're not the one reading the book. You're listening to the book. So, oh, Becky's doing a live. Okay. Anyways, I think that's it. I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm just going to get to the point where I'm just going to record when I can, because even today I was like, oh, it's not really a good day to record. I'm still stitching. But it's never going to be a good day to record. I'm just going to have to do it. So I don't know if they're going to come more frequently. I don't know if they're going to, hopefully not like any longer, because 2.5, 3 weeks is a long time. And then I can't remember what the hell I did in those 2 weeks, because I can't remember what I did yesterday, much less what day it is today. Which, looking at my calendar, it tells me it's Monday. But I don't know. It could be lying. I don't know. All right. On that note, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to go help the hubby make some dinner. I have no idea what we're doing for dinner, because I think we discussed it, but I forgot. Nope, I don't remember. Anyways, it doesn't matter. He's the chef. I'm just here. On that note, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. Stay random, don't kiss your projects, and I'll see you guys next time.